Toby, in the early innings, their starters seemed to have you guys off balance with throwing a lot of breaking stuff. How do you think from what you saw from him, did it differ from what you expected? How do you think guys reacted?
I wouldn't necessarily say that it was different than what we expected. He definitely just threw a lot of strikes tonight and mixed his pitches really well and threw all four for strikes. And so when you do that as a starter, it becomes much more difficult for the hitters to stay on every single pitch, especially with the arsenal that he had. So I think as the game went on, we made a good adjustment of giving pitches that we can hit and doing damage with them. But it was just a tough adjustment, and I wish we could have made that adjustment a little sooner.
Went down huge early and scraped together some runs towards the end of the game. How do you think that speaks to the team's resilience and that they're going to keep going when there's outs on the board?
Yeah, I mean, we know we're never out of a game, and obviously a situation like that, Marco's been amazing for us all year. And I mean, he had one bad outing and it stinks, but we all know what he's done for us the whole year, and so we didn't take it any other way, any more than just a challenge. And so just knowing that we're never going to be out of a game and that we're able to swing our way back into pretty much any game. I mean, if we literally get like one or two more base runners, we're a home run away from being in that game. So.
Do you guys feel like there was any sort of like emotional hangover from how last night went?
I mean, you can never tell for sure, but the way that we preach and the way that Coach Memphis preaches, we expect there not to be. I mean, we know, especially with a game like that, obviously it is tough to get back the next day, but win or lose, we all know that once we leave here at the end of the night, it's on to the next. And so if that was the case for some people, we just have to do a better job at finding a way to make the adjustment and getting in the next day and being more ready to play.
Jonah, we just heard from Toby about the fight that the offense put up. Were you proud of the fight that the bullpen put up coming in after, an uncharacteristically sloppy start from Connor Markle and being able to post a bunch of goose eggs down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it all starts with first guy out of the pen to set the tone for the rest of the bullpen. And, Corny went out there and, did his best. And, some days you don't have it. Some days, I don't have it a lot of the time, but you just got to work through it. And the goal is just to keep us in it enough to let our offense go to work, because anything's possible with these guys. And that's the mindset.
How do you personally take positives away from the start or a game that you had when it kind of felt like everything else just didn't go your way?
Just how you overcome everything else that didn't go your way, I think, is the only positive you can pull from that, and the only thing that's going to help the team down the stretch.
Steven, the way you've been swinging the bat lately has been pretty fun to watch, especially with how you were thought of as defense when you came in here. What's kind of changed with your offensive approach that's allowed this breakout for you, especially in the power department too?
It's kind of a challenge that I set myself to, just to work harder on the offensive side than the defensive side, and it's paying off, so I'm glad that it's paying off.
With the start like your team had today, what's the mental block that maybe comes with knowing you have to fight back against 10 runs? Obviously, Jonah, you were still out of the bullpen, but even with that paired with some really hard contact later in the game, to fall short still under those circumstances.
I wouldn't say there's much of a mental block. I mean, I feel like the way that we responded, being down that many runs that early, is just a testament to who we are. I mean, I could probably show you a huge handful of teams in the nation that go down 14-0 and just kind of give in. And so just being able to put up as many runs as we did, and then the amount of zeros that we did after that as a bullpen, I don't think there's any block. Obviously, we didn't get enough out of it that we wanted to, but I feel like it was a good end to the game, and hopefully it'll lead us into a good day tomorrow.